Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be installing a exhaust flange guard, which is also a KTM power part. The part number here is 55437994-044, and they come in blue or orange. There's no black or silver. Basically what this does is it's going to protect the head from cracking if you're to drop the bike on the pipe, where the pipe would punch right into the head and snap the flange. So this protects it. This is about 30 bucks as opposed to, I've been told, upwards of $1,000 for an entire engine head. Maybe that includes labor, I'm not sure, but either way, cheap insurance, few hand tools, shouldn't take too long to put on, and that's what we're going to do. Alright, so the first step to install the exhaust flange protector here is to obviously take it out of the bag. This is what you get. This little clamp here is going to go on top, and it's going to position just like that onto the bike. So the first step here is to pull the springs off and loosen the two bolts that hold this pipe onto the bike, and remove the pipe completely. It says in the instructions you have to remove the silencer as well, but you don't have to do that. So what you can use here is you can use a large pair of pliers or channel locks, or you can use a pair of vice grips, but if you feel you're strong enough, you can just use these and grip onto those springs and just pull them off of the pipe. Alright, we got the springs off the pipe, so the next step here is to remove the bolt down right here, and then there's another bolt right here. Alright, so you're going to use a T40 Torx with an extension and a ratchet here to remove the bolts from the pipe. Alright, now we've got both springs off the front of the pipe and we've got both bolts removed. Without removing the silencer, we can just open the kickstand here and just go ahead and wiggle this pipe off, pulling down and forward. Alright, now we've got the pipe off. Make sure you've got both O-rings still on your flange. Set it aside. Alright, now take both of the springs off of your engine and set those aside. Okay, the next step is you're going to go ahead and remove the two bolts on the outside of the flange on the head here. One of them, the one on the passenger side of the bike, has the spring holder, and the one on the other side, the driver's side of the bike, has no spring holder. You're going to use a 5mm Allen wrench with an extension and a ratchet to take it off. This is the bolt from the driver's side without the spring holder. This is the bolt with the spring holder from the passenger side. You're going to take the spring holder off, set the bolt aside. Alright, so the next step here to installing this flange guard is we're going to take the flange guard. You're going to want the clamp on the top, and there's going to be two recessed notched holes here for the bolts to go through. So you're going to position it basically with the notches, the C part of the notch facing forward, and you're going to put that on the engine, and then you're going to put the screw with the spring holder, which is on the passenger side. You're going to use the 40mm screw, the longer of the two provided screws. You're going to thread that in and tighten it down to 8 Nm. Okay, now I've got the flange guard installed. I've got both bolts snugged up. I don't want to use a torque wrench for 8 Nm. I just snugged it up by hand, and it fell even side to side. Last step before you put the pipe back on is you're going to go ahead and take that top clamp there, and you're going to go ahead and tighten that bolt down, and then you can reinstall the pipe. Alright, so the wrench that you're going to use to tighten down the little bolt there on the top of the clamp is going to be an 8mm box end wrench. Alright, now that you've got all the bolts on the flange guard tightened down, you're going to go ahead and reinstall your spring clamps for the front of the pipe here. Alright, we got the springs back on the motor here. We're going to go ahead and reinstall this pipe very carefully. Alright, we got the pipe slid back on here. We're going to go ahead and just get these bolts started before we put the springs on, because you want to make sure you get the bolts threaded in, not tightened down, just threaded in before you put the springs back on, because sometimes if you put the spring on first, you won't be able to align the bolts. Okay, we've got both bolts threaded in now, so I'm going to go ahead and reattach the springs using my channel locks. Okay, I've got the springs back on. I'm going to go ahead and snug down both bolts. Alright guys, that's it. Probably took me 20 minutes with filming, maybe 15 minutes if I had the right tools and I didn't have to film. But just a little peace of mind there, a little bit of bling for 30 bucks. Should save you $1,000 if you ever drop the bike on the pipe and crack that cylinder or flange. So appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more vids. Thanks. See you later.